Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Triple Threat Podcast starring your hostess with the mostess, me, Terrence Crystal. I'm back, y'all. Y'all are back. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Let's go. I am back. Yes, I basically decided, hey, I'm not gonna post an episode for 4 months. Yeah, because life got in the way. No, but yes, I did take the summer off. Yeah, and I think even in my last video, I think at the end or at the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna be committed and I'm going to be back on the high horse and all that stuff. And I genuinely was. I was planning for it. I was going to do it, but life just I said this in my last video as well, didn't I? But life just got in the way and a lot of work stuff as well. And summer and everything. I'm not going to harp on about it for much, but and I'm a bit sick at the moment. Well, not too bad. You know when you just feel a bit of a blocked nose, but it's nothing else. It's just a blocked nose, but that affects everything. It affects the way you talk, it affects the way you breathe, it affects your energy as well. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling just the blocked nose, and that's it. And it's already ruined my day. No, no. Well, maybe it has, but no. Well, yeah, maybe. No, joking. Um, yes, I am back in full swing. And yes, I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna go at it. It's gonna be a lot by myself or with a couple of guests. I'm definitely gonna get a few more guests in the future, some returning. And yeah, like I posted on my Instagram, I'm back. And this episode, since I didn't post anything over the summer, I am going to give you for this episode a full breakdown and review of my summer in 2024. But like through music, concerts, shows, and TV that I watched, new stuff that I watched over the summer. Yeah, gonna review all that, talk about summer 2024 because summer 2024 was a crazy summer for TV. But before I get into it, I just want to say thank you all for listening. And I would really appreciate it if you gave me a follow or a listen, or if you shared this on your story. Yeah, because I don't know, I just love talking. I love talking, and I love talking about films and TV and just talking in general. And I know there's a lot of people who like to listen, so if you really love listening to me, then you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, on my YouTube channel where I mainly post my thing. I post my episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Podcast. Yeah. Um so yeah, please give me a like and follow. And yeah. So what was I saying before? So this summer was a big summer for TV shows because I'm just referring to my notes. I have that. We had a lot of brand new seasons for high profile shows. So I think just in June alone, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, I have to go back. Hee 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 hee. No, this summer. Um, wait, how can no? I have to go. Oh yeah, I have to do that. Months. Sorry, just on iPhone. Here we go. June. Bam. Here we go. Sorry. You know how on your iPhone, if you just go into albums, it's just quick. It's a quicker way to get into your recent photos of a week or so, and you have to go into actual photos and go into it categorizes it from months, years, days. whatever. So I was just searching that. But in June alone of this year, we got 4 brand new seasons of like long lasting, huge, like multi-million dollar TV shows. We got The Bear season 3, which we will talk about. We also got House of Dragons season 2. We also got The Boys season 4. Yeah, season 4. And then we got the new Star Wars series, The Acolyte. Now, straight off the bat, I'm just gonna say I actually haven't seen The Acolyte. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Um, yeah, I mean, it wasn't for me, but and I am disappointed that it got canceled because I feel like that show got a lot of unnecessary hate. Like, I did read a couple of reviews about it, and I was just like, oh, okay, interesting. But I think the amount of vitriol that it got was really unnecessary. Um, I'm probably not gonna watch it, but like I might watch a couple of like TikTok videos about it, and or like watch a couple of clips on YouTube. So I didn't watch that. But I did watch the other 3 shows. Now, actually, let's start off with let's start off with that with TV this summer. Um, so I watched those 3 seasons: the House of Dragon season 2, The Bear, and The Boys. I also watched the new season of Solar Opposites. I watched Interview with a Vampire. I watched as well. And what else did I watch that was like new? I'm trying to think. I can't really remember, but those are enough shows to get the ball rolling. Um, yeah. So yeah, this a lot of stuff is coming out in 2024. Like a lot of heavy hitter shows, like top tier heavy hitter shows that are like starting to like make traction. Like obviously The Bear is in its 3rd season, and House of the Dragon was that 2 years ago? Yeah, a lot of like stuff that we saw a couple of years ago are getting like their new seasons this year. And the same thing with a lot of music as well. I feel like music and TV are having like a phenomenal year this year from established TV shows or established artists like these shows. And then obviously in the music, we have new music this year by Miss Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, all of the big heavy hitters releasing this year. But TV, I'm gonna talk about these 3 ones that because I feel like they were the talk because with The Boys and House of Dragon, they did, which I think is a smart thing. Where well, actually, House of the Dragon didn't do this. The Boys did a 2-episode premiere, so a lot of stuff on Amazon will do where they release 2 episodes on its like opening day. It'll release the first 2 episodes and then it will do a weekly release. So it's kind of like taking the best of both worlds with Netflix. Because it's really interesting because I find that there was a time where everyone wanted the Netflix model. They wanted all the episodes all at once, so that people could binge it all at once, and they didn't have to wait. And that was the whole calling card for Netflix, and it worked for many years. But I feel like we're now back in a time where there's a severe disadvantage to that because I feel like the season gets released, and unless it's like really, really good and gets a lot of attention, the season gets released, it gets talked about for about a week, and then everyone forgets about it and then moves on to the next thing. Because people are looking for the next thing, and you need to keep grabbing people's attention. So with the Boys and House of the Dragon, The Boys did the 2-episode premiere and then released the rest of the season week to week. House of the Dragon from the get go was a week to week release. And then The Bear, famously, for its first two seasons, released everything all at once. And I think The Bear is one of those exceptions, especially the first two seasons, where the seasons were so good that people just kept talking about it. Like people were just like, "Oh, this TV show is amazing. Wow, the second season outdid the first season. Like incredible." And then the third season came out, and I'm going to talk about my favorite of the three, which probably I would say The Boys. Out of the three, I think The Boys was my favorite. I think it was smart, and I think it was smart and although I do believe that actually I believe that all three of these seasons are perfect examples of setting up for what is to come, which I think for all of them, unfortunately, had a negative impact on the overall consensus of what I think of the show. So for The Boys season 4, for example, there was a lot great in it. Like Homelander had some incredible scenes. There was a lot of interesting choices that were made. Like with Billy's character and with Huey, and a lot with what's her name? Starlight. I love what they did with Starlight's character and how she had to come to terms with being Starlight, and she this is spoilers. Spoiler warning for all of these TV shows, by the way. And how Starlight had to literally fight herself in order to recognize herself, which I thought was really smart. But this season, for the majority of the season, it was setting up for the final season, which is going to be season 5. It's planting a lot of the seeds that we won't get to see, unfortunately, in season 5. Now, I think the positive sides of that is because in The Boys, they had a lot of the planting of the seeds, but then they also had a lot of cool, great action sequences and a lot of great drama and a lot of great comedy. Like the twists and turns of this season of The Boys was amazing. There was literally one point, the twist, and if you've seen The Boys season 4, you know what twist I'm talking about with Negan's character. Not Negan. The character that's played by the actor who played Negan in The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean. I can't remember his name. Jeffrey Dean something. Also, I booked my tickets to see Joker 2 yesterday. Oh, I won't even start talking about how, as a little monster, the first week of September has just been nonstop. The second half of August into the first week of September has just been monumental for the Little Monsters, for Lady Gaga fans. We've gotten so much. We've gotten new music, Die With a Smile, which is a fucking amazing song and a hit as well. We've gotten the Joker premiere at Venice. We've gotten the reactions to it, which are mixed, but I'm still that actually makes me want to see it more. I don't know. I think obviously when you see first reactions and they're genuinely all positive reactions to a film, it makes you want to see it. I find it really interesting when a film gets mixed reactions because I'm like, oh, interesting. And I feel, I don't know, I compel myself to be the tiebreaker in these mixed reactions, even though, it's all subject to yourself and all that jazz. But no, we've gotten so much Lady Gaga content this past couple of weeks that I'm so happy and I'm so excited as well. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yes, I was right. So the twist with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character was amazing. I did not expect it at all. I was literally in the car going to the airport and I wasn't driving. And I was watching it, and when it happened, I was literally like, "Oh my god!" I literally vocalized it so loudly. And I think the way that they ended it was great. It's very much like the heroes are at their lowest fucking point to bring them into the final season to see how they like get out. Like what's the I think there's is it a famous quote by the who directed No Country for Old Men? No Country for Old Men. Joel and Ethan Cohen. Yes. So Joel and Ethan Cohen, they have a very famous quote. Yeah, I think they have like a famous quote. I can't find it for some reason, but I remember it. They have a famous quote that when we write, we start at the end and work our way to the beginning. So they start at the end when the hero is backed into the corner and then work backwards from that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the boys get out of this one. But I think it's going to be interesting because I've talked about this before on my podcast, the Gen V. Gen V is a spin-off TV show in the same universe as the boys. And that first season was actually integral to this season because it introduced the virus that could kill superheroes. So it'll be interesting to see how season 2 of Gen V, because I think basically what they're doing is that we got season 4 this year. Then next year we're going to get Gen V season 2, and then 2026 we're going to get season 5 of The Boys. So, yeah, we're going to be waiting a while. But overall, like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it had great moments. I loved all the characters. I thought it was a great continuation of what the third season did. I love the new characters as well. But yeah, my same complaint with this one was that it felt more like a setting up season for season 5. But no, I love the boys. I think out of all of them, I think the boys really delivered with season 4. Now, number 2 of those 3, I think would be House of the Dragon season 2. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first found out, I love House of the Dragon. I thought the first season was so good. It was back to basics with Game of Thrones like drama, but there was still a lot of great like action sequences as well. The acting was phenomenal. The final episode really like sets up the tone for the rest of the series. So I was really excited. I'm not gonna lie, when I first found out that the season 2 would only have 8 episodes instead of 10, I was like, oh no, here we go. Because obviously, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, you remember when they announced that season 7 would only have 7 episodes, and then consequently, season 8 would only have 6. Now, people didn't know what to make of that at the time, but then with hindsight, it was a bad thing. So I think a lot of people were genuinely concerned, and we were like, oh shit, fuck, 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 fuck. Oh god, they're gonna rush this season. They're gonna rush it. Oh god. Um Now this so it's good. This season is good. And like I said before, this season of TV is just brought down or bogged down by being a potential or basically a sneak preview or laying the foundational work for the next season. But you don't get any. I feel like with this, however, there was no real payoff like in The Boys before then, if you know what I mean. So there are like a couple of great episodes in this season. Like I feel like the premiere episode is great. The battle at Rook's Nest was amazing, and I think to this day it's one of the highest rated Game of Thrones universe episodes on IMDb, and I think it's like one of the top 3 highest rated IMDb House of Dragon episodes. But then, unfortunately, this season did have some of the worst episodes of the House of Dragon seasons. Um, and I think I said this to a couple of my friends. When I say like it was a bad episode for House of Dragon, it's still good, but just comparatively, like, was this a good episode? Yes. Was it the worst of the season? Still, yes. So it was still a good episode of TV, just comparatively, it was not great. And unfortunately, it just got a bit boring in some sections. Like, I really appreciate like delving into a character and like being with them and really discovering who they are as a true person. But if nothing is pushing the plot forward, then at the end of the day, it's just flat. That's what happened in a lot of these scenes. A lot of these scenes, nothing really pushed the plot forward. And the finale episode, I felt like the finale episode was good. It just felt like this is a teaser trailer for season 3. Like basically at the end of season 1 of House of the Dragon, they were just like, war is coming and we need to prepare. The end of season 2 was war is coming and we need to prepare. When I thought season 2 was gonna be some of that war, but no, we're still preparing. We're still waiting. So, yeah, yeah. When it gets good, it gets good. Like the highs of this season of House of the Dragon were like, whoa, like incredible. And I do think it should have been 10 episodes. Or 9 at least. It should have been at least 9. Cuz I think they needed more time. Cuz hopefully now that I think the season was a huge success ratings wise. I think that HBO hopefully will give them the money and be like, here's all the money you need. You can do this, blah, 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 and give them like not full creative control, but more creative control or more, a budget to befit a good, proper season of House of Dragon. Because I could feel that HBO were very tight with money for this season. Like, I could really feel that. And don't even get me started on Daemon being stuck in Harrenhal. The memes of that were so goddamn funny. But I agree, like, oh my god. And, like, we don't even get to see the outcome, not really, of Daemon being in Harrenhal. You see the army that he's claimed. You see the, like, numbers, but you never see it in action. So you're just left with, we just watched genuinely 7 episodes of Daemon being in Harrenhal just to give a war speech at the end, going into a battle that we'll not see for another 2 years. Yeah. I still loved it. I love House of Dragon. I think it is one of my favorite shows, but this season was a bit of a disappointment. Yeah, still good. Still, I enjoyed watching it as a fan and who's someone who like knows what happens in the books. It's really interesting watching this and seeing where they divulge and where they do stay true to the books. So no, I liked it. Oh, sorry. For The Boys, I would give like an 8.5 out of 10. No, I would give The Boys a 9 out of 10. Boys season 4, and then House of Dragon, I would give that probably a 7.5. Yeah, 7. I think a 7.5. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it a 7. A 7 out of 10 is what I'd give House of the Dragon season 2. Now, unfortunately, comparatively, between the 3 of these new summer TV shows, I have to put The Bear at the bottom of the 3. Now, one of the reasons why is, unfortunately, and I don't like comparing because I feel like it takes away. You need to just review it as its own entity without the like, not burden, but without the like pressure of like the other stuff, because they're their own thing. And no matter how you try, you'll never like be the same. You'll be great in your own way. However, for the season 3 of The Bear, season 2 was like season 2 of The Bear is, I think, can be classed as one of the best seasons of TV of all time. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. So I was really excited. And it started off good, like the fallout of what happened at season 2, with Carmi, yeah, getting locked in the walk-in and missing his opening night, and then him breaking up with his girlfriend, yada yada yada, and then that affecting Sydney and cousin and the whole thing. I liked that, but I think my main issue was that. Now I'll say what this season does get right. Acting, incredible across the board. The script writing for when it gets good is really good. Like the scene where Carmi confronts his old chef who basically verbally abused him when he was like studying in New York. He confronted him, and I love that scene. Just watching him like confront him and not even be angry at him, but just be more like matter of fact and just be so like blatant, like you caused me to stop eating for ages, like you did this. No, the episode that focuses on Tina, amazing. You get to see how she joined the Bear, how she met everyone, and her own struggle, and why this means so much to her. And I love that episode. I thought it was great. I just because I loved Tina so much in the second season that I loved seeing how she came to be in the third season. I think that was my favorite episode of the whole entire show. With this season, so obviously in season 1, there was like an overarching plot of like taking over the diner and getting it back on its feet and getting the money and keeping the shop open. So that was like the through line plot of season 1, with a little vignettes on the way of how they achieved that, which made season 1 so good. And then season 2, obviously the whole overarching plot of that was them opening a brand new restaurant. So that was a great overarching plot with a bunch of vignettes in the middle that like helped them achieve their goal. Like season 2, every episode pushed the plot forward. It was pushing the plot. There was nothing that was just filler. And even when it did feel like filler, it was filler but still headed in that forward direction. This season, they never really established what their overarching plot was. From my estimation of watching the season, about halfway through the season, it becomes about getting a Michelin star, which is like the highest of rewards you can get for a restaurant. And I was like, okay, I can fucks with this. This is good. So I think that's why I found the second half of the season a lot better than the first half. Because actually in the second half, I think episode 7 is Tina's episode. So yeah. So the second half of the season is when they try and like focus on getting that Michelin star. The first half. Now listen, I love a Fallout season or a Fallout episode where you like deal with the fallout of something big that happened in the previous season or the previous episode. I think it's good to allow characters to breathe. I felt like the first 5 episodes of this season, they took too much time dealing with the fallout. I feel like episode 1 should have been like dealing with the fallout, how we're going to go from here, and then move on from it. And then like refocus. Because the first 5 episodes were really just like, oh, how are we gonna get this and da 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 da. So yeah, I think if I were to rate it, I would give it probably maybe a 6 out of 10, just because my expectations were really high coming off of such a strong season 2. That yeah, I think I might have to rewatch it because I've only watched it once, and I feel like you really should. You get value out of multiple viewings of something or multiple listens, because I feel like your first initial reactions are most of the time your gut instincts are right. But I feel like if you watch it again and your instincts are exactly the same, then you know, okay, yes, I'm right. But if you watch it again and maybe you see something you didn't see before, or, oh, actually, this is funny because this was here and now this is there. Oh, this is funny because A equals B and now that equals C. And like I said with the other 2 seasons, this is a setup season for season 4. Like, which I feel like wasn't really what The Bear was all about. I felt like The Bear, the first 2 seasons anyway, well, the end of season 1 going into the season 2, it laid the foundation, but it still felt like a complete season. So you could watch season 1 of The Bear, finish it, and if it got canceled or if it took ages for season 2, you could be content with just season 1. Whereas I feel like this, House of Dragon season 2 and The Boys season 4, if you were to take those seasons out and place them by themselves, then they would be bogged down by the promise of what's to come instead of standing alone as its own season. Yeah. So that's my review of the TV for summer 2024. Oh, and I also watched Interview with the Vampire, but I'm going to talk about that on a separate episode because I feel I love that show, and I think it's just incredible, funny, well-written, and well-acted. It's one of the best acted shows I've ever seen. Now I'm going to move on to something I really haven't done. I'm going to talk about I am going to talk about the concerts and shows that I saw over summer. And particularly just the concerts, like music concerts. Like musicals and like plays. I'll save that for another episode because I feel like I want to talk about that properly. But yeah, the stuff that I saw over the summer. Where to begin? We start off in May when I saw Miss Olivia Rodrigo at the O2. I love Olivia Rodrigo so much. I think that she is a multi-talented artist, and that the fact that she's so young and she's hit this amount of success and that she's putting this quality of work out into the world, like at this young age, props to you, mama. So I went to her Guts World Tour with one of my good friends, Ez. Hi, Ez. Love you. Need you on the podcast. We went. So back in my concert going day. No. Back in my concert going days when I was a bit younger, I was a devoted fan of a lot of different girlies, and I would queue up. Now, for the people who know, when you really love an artist, you queue up a good few hours before, so there's a bigger chance of you getting to the barrier or getting as close to the stage as you possibly can. So I remember there was one concert, I think it was Rihanna, or maybe it was... Yeah, I think it was Rihanna, where I was at the venue in line a full 10 hours before the concert started. And not even just before the concert started, before the concert was expected to start. So it said on your ticket that the concert started at 7:30. That was a crock of shit. Like, so far, I think only one artist has been just less than 15 minutes late, or like 15, 20 minutes. Usually these artists are about half an hour, or if you're some artist, you're like 2.5 hours late. So I don't really do that anymore, or like the past couple of concerts I've been to, I haven't really done that. Just because I've just learned that you can just go, and like, I'm tall, I'm 6'1", and I'm happy just listening to the music and just vibing with my friends instead of waiting in line. So I'm chill. But for this one, my friend Ez was like, I really want to go early. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. So we got there. I think we got there around like 4 hours before the concert started, maybe 4.5, and or even 3. No, I think 4 hours. I think, and waited in line. There were a lot of kids there. Oh God, you know that meme of just Jamae schoolgirl, when you're like over the age of 25 at a Olivia Rodrigo concert, you feel fucking old as shit. That's how I felt. But still, I had a fantastic time. She's an amazing performer, and she's a rock star. She came out. She did all of her hit songs. She did Vampire, Driver's License, Traitor. She did Happier. She did Deja Vu. Oh, I was just having such a great time. And then she came out and she went onto the moon and like went across the audience and sang my favorite song from Guts, which is Logical. And then she did Love is Embarrassing. I love Olivia so much. I had such a great time. It was such a great vibe. Everyone was so nice there. There were a couple of people who, like, I think, because the classic thing where like someone tries to get to the front by being like, oh, my friend's up there, can I just pass you by? There were a lot of people at the Olivia Rodrigo concert being like, hi, can I just move to the front? And then I think there was this one guy I remember who, like, I think he was by himself and he tried to pass us. And like, it was like, when you get to that point where you're so crowded, you're literally just like, dude, I cannot move or else I'm going to fall over the person behind me. And I think he just stood there because he realized that this is as far as he's going to get. And he was taller as well. He was like my height and a bit more broad shouldered. So like, I kind of felt bad for like the girlies behind him. Yeah, but I don't know. There's I think I'm self-aware enough to realize that I have to adjust. At the end of the day, I don't care. I'm watching it. Like, you can move yourself. But at the same time, though, I have a big head and I'm like in big shoulders. So like, I'm happy if you like tap me on the shoulder and just ask me to like move, I'll gladly do it. But there were some guys who were just absolutely blocking the view for so many people. But still, I loved Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo, I love you so much. It's such a great time. And yeah, it was a really good show and a really good set list as well. Like, yeah, she played all of like the best songs. And yeah, the visuals were amazing. The venue was great. Remy Wolf was the supporting act, and I thought she was great. Yeah, Olivia, love you. And then I think next up we did the Eras Tour. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. I got to go to Miss Taylor Swift, Wembley Stadium, London, night 1. Because, like, you see, like, even if you're not a Swiftie, I feel like this past summer and even last summer, you see all the, like, videos and the memes and just, like, the photos of people at Taylor Swift's Era Tour. So, like, of it, whether or not you're a massive Swiftie or not. So I was just, like, I was determined to get these tickets, and I got them. I think it was almost a year and a half in the waiting, because I got my Eras Tour tickets the week that Midnights came out. And I'm almost certain Midnight was released in November or October of 2022, and it's now 2024. So, yeah, almost 2 full years, or a year and 8 months were in the waiting. So I was so excited. I wore the jacket from Karma. I was fully ready. I made my way down, and it was a beautiful day as well. It was during that week where we just got nothing but like really, really, really hot weather. Oh, it was so nice. It was so amazing. And shout out to this American family who kind of like, because I went by myself. Because I've learned in life, if you can't find anyone to go with you to something that you love, go by yourself. You'll still love it the same regardless. So, and I've talked about this before, about going to cinema by myself and going to see shows by myself. And I've gone to concerts by myself before. I got adopted by this American family. It was a mom, the mom's sister, and then the mom's daughter. And I think the daughter was maybe 19 or 18 turning 19. So she was like a big Swiftie. And she was like, me and her were talking about, we were like, oh, what do you think her surprise songs are going to be? Oh, do you think she's going to do this? Oh, do you think maybe on this night she'll do this? You know, like breaking down the lore of Miss Swift. And the moms were just like, oh, you kids are so funny. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was just like, I'm 28. Anyway, yeah. So if you hear applause by Lady Gaga play, that means that the show is about to begin. But no, they adopted me, and they were so nice because I kind of like they adopted me and made me part of their group, and they bought me like fries and chicken nuggets and got me water as well, and I in return like kind of was because like I'm a tall, broad-chested man, so I can like push my way through a crowd, or like not even push my way through a crowd. I can like fill my body out so that our spot sorry, just had to sneeze. I provided like my knowledge of concert going, because like I feel like when you've gone to a couple of concerts standing, you know like the etiquette, you know how to work your way through a crowd, you know how to like essentially become a cow catcher for your friends. So like I did that. We got really close as well. Like I was shocked. The only downside is that obviously during her show she has graphic image, not graphic. She has like images and lights on the actual stage that she's performing on. So if I were to go again ever, I would kind of maybe want like a seated ticket, like from above, not even from above, like just so I could see the lights on the stage and really appreciate it, because from standing you could not see the lights on the stage at all, which didn't matter. You still had a great time, but I would have liked to seen it. No, it was 3.5 hours. She started on time. Oh, we got I cried twice during it because I made a rule. I was like, okay, Terrence, you can, because when I'm at concerts, I have this rule where I try and take as little videos as I can. So like when I do take a video, I kind of just like get my phone out and video and just hope that she's in the video, because I want to focus on her, because I see so many people literally watch concerts through their iPhone and they film everything. So for the Eras Tour, I made a rule. I was just like, okay, Terrence, you're going to film some of the songs like Cruel Summer, Champagne Problems, Fortnite, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. But the one song you are not going to record, you're just going to stand there and listen, is All Too Well, the 10-minute version, which is one of my favorites. I think is my favorite Taylor Swift song of all time.
And I put my phone away, and I just listened to the full 10 minutes, and I bawled. Oh, it was beautiful. And then the second time I bawled was obviously every night she does surprise songs from her 11 albums. She does an acoustic set. And the first song she did was The Black Dog, which is my favorite song off of the Tortured Poets department. And honestly, one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I think it's like in my top 5, top 6 favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time. She played that, and I was just like, oh my God. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And, and yeah, she did a great job. But she did 5 surprise songs our night. Now, I have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that London Night 1 is the only night in all of the Eras Tour where she did 5 surprise songs. Because most of the time she does 4. Like, she'll do like a mashup of 2 and then a mashup of 2. Or like at the beginning, she would just do 2 songs. So at our night, she did Black Dog, mashed up with Come Back, Be Here, and Maroon. And then did, what did she do? Then she did Death by a Thousand Cuts and Hits Different. Yes. She did those 5 songs. And I was just like, oh my God, we're getting 5. Holy fuck. Also, and Travis Kelce was there as well. So I got to see him cry during Lover, which was wild. I was like, oh my God, Travis Kelce and his entire family, Jason Kelce, his wife, and the girl, Nicola Coughlan from Bridgerton was there. Oh, it was crazy. Cara Delevingne was also there. Oh, wild. I had so much fun. It was just an amazing time because everyone was so positive. Everyone was so positive, giving out friendship bracelets, being so nice to each other. Kids were just coming up and just being like, hi, do you want one? And I would just be like, yeah, here, do you want to take this one? And it was just such a lovely, positive atmosphere. I will say, though, it did take me 2.5 hours to get home. Whoa, which was crazy. That was the only downside, and I knew it was gonna happen, but at the same time, I don't really care, but I probably should have just like in hindsight, I probably should have just waited. I probably should have just got a drink, maybe even get more merch, and just waited for 45 minutes, an hour to then leave so that the general crowd could have gone. But I think regardless, I would have hit the crowd leaving. But no, I had such a great time. Oh, I generally I know how people feel now when they go to the Eras Tour once that you just want to go again. Because I'm generally okay, I'm going to Toronto to see it. Yay. To the last show, which I imagine is fucking sold out. Oh my God. And then, oh my God. And then I'll finish off because I realize I'm running out of time. And then I'll talk about my summer movies in my next episode. I saw after that, it wasn't as big, obviously, as Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift, but it was big for me. I saw the incredible Brittany Broski, her show, with one of my good and close best friends, Mr. Joe. Hi, Joe. You still need to come on. I still need to get you. I still need to get you on this fucking podcast. But yeah, no, we went together, and I had a great time. I booked meet and greets. I ran up to her. I was like, oh my God, I love you. And she was just like, oh, you're gay. And no, she didn't say that. She was actually really sweet. She gives you as much attention because she knows what it's like to be on the other end of that, to be a fan of someone and to like buy these meet and greet tickets or to like even meet them in the streets or like whatever or to go to their concert. She knows that this is so like serious for you. She like we were talking for ages and she was giving me full eye contact. She was giving me full engaging body language. We were volleying off each other. She was so lovely. I brought her. I have this signed thing by Trixie Mattel that I got years ago, and it's Study Hard, Stretch First. And I was just like, I know I have this from your mortal enemy. It's a joke. They're best friends, but they like to pretend. So I was wondering if you could sign it, like, you know, to like pass on the baton. And she was just like, oh my God, now I have to write something good. And I was just like, amazing. And she wrote Make Good Choices and wrote Brittany Broski. And she was so lovely. And yeah, we were talking for so long. It got to the point where like the camera guy was like, hey, let's get that photo and let's keep going now. But actually, shout out to that photo guy because he knew from the get-go, just keep taking photos. He knew just keep taking photos. He took like 50 photos of the entire interaction, just kept going. And I was just like, he's so real for that. He is so real for that. No, and then the show itself was really funny. GK Barry was the moderator, and she was hilarious. I love her content too. Not as much as Brittany Broski's, but like I would watch her TikToks, give her a like. And then she did a pub quiz in the second half. It was a little on the shorter side. Like I think altogether the whole show was just an hour. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is quite short. But I got the best I could out of it. And I got a free shirt because I answered the pub quiz question. And the question was, what is the name of the character that Ewan Mitchell plays in Saltburn? And no one on stage, not Brittany or Miss Barry, knew the answer. And I was in the front row, and I immediately stuck up my hand because I remembered. And I was just like, "Oh, I know." And Brittany was just like, "Can I phone a gay, please? Can I phone a gay?" And then she was like, "To be you, what is it?" And I was like, "It's Michael." And they were like, "Ding ding, right?" And threw it. And then actually, like, proper threw the t-shirt at me, and I got a nose. No, I'm joking. I didn't get a nosebleed. And yeah, I got a free t-shirt, and yeah, the venue was incredible though. I think it was called the Troxy Theatre in London. Beautiful venue. I just had such a good time. Such a good time. I've never laughed so much in my entire fucking life. Like, I was laughing hard. It was so funny. It was so funny. And I love Brittany Broski. I just love her as a person. And I love her as a person, and I love that she is self-aware of the industry that she's in, that she like calls out the stuff, but then when it happens to her, she can take a step back, do her own research, and realize what she has to offer, if you know what I mean. She's able to do the research when new material comes before her, which I really appreciate, because a lot of influencers don't do that. A lot of influencers like double down on the stuff and just, yeah, no, I love Miss Brittany Broski. I think she's so funny, she's so real, and she's just so comforting to watch. I haven't felt that like kind of comfort to an influencer, honestly, since I want to say Jenna Marbles. Yeah, Jenna Marbles. I was deep into the Jenna Marbles lore. Like, I loved her videos. I loved her content. I loved watching her every Wednesday. I thought she's so funny. She's so smart. But she's also like making this hysterical content, and not even just funny content. She's just making content that she wants to make and that we can enjoy watching. Yeah, so I was obviously devastated when she decided to take a break from YouTube. I understand why she did it, and I think the way she handled it was with absolute grace and dignity. She pulled up all the things that she did wrong. She said, this is A, B, and C, and here's the evidence for A, here is the video for B, and here is the tweet for C. Here's all that I did. This is, and she was like, and this is why I did it, and this is how it affected people, and I apologize for that. And like, the damage is already done, but I still do apologize for it. And I really just, yeah, I really do appreciate it. I think that she set the trend and this, not the trend, I'm sorry. She set the standard for what you need to do to acknowledge your own mistakes. Because after she did that, so many other YouTubers just fell off or just got completely eviscerated for putting out substandard apology videos or disingenuous. Like, just because she set the standard. She set the standard so high that no YouTuber, I think, has ever followed suit. Yeah. So yeah, Miss Brittany Broski. Fucking love her. Fucking love Brittany Broski. And people who know me know that I love Brittany Broski. They know. So yeah, that was the TV and concerts I saw this summer. Oh my God. I feel like I thought I would get through so much more in like the hour, but obviously TV and concerts are a big part of the thing. I think next week I will give you my review of the summer 2024 for music and film. Yeah. And like, obviously, I'll talk about it a bit. I'm not going to go into further detail, but just to give like a sneak peek, so that you can like and subscribe and listen to me, and find out what music and films I liked over the summer. But yeah, obviously this summer has been the Powerpuff Girls of summer. It has been Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, and I think it's a tie. No, actually not a tie. I think it's Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, and then Charlie XCX, the Powerpuff Girls, with a very close fourth Powerpuff Girl being Billie Eilish. I believe those three, and including Billie, have just dominated the summer for music. I mean, we got Charlie XCX's Brat album. We got the rise of Chappell Roan and the Midwestern Princess. And then we got Sabrina Carpenter with Espresso and Please, Please, Please and her new album. I think that they've absolutely dominated. I think like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing at least one of their songs in a club, a radio, or anywhere. Yeah, I think that they truly made the summer exciting again for pop music, and Billie Eilish as well with her new album. And I guess like she's part of that because obviously she did the feature in the remix of Guess with Charlie XCX. So she's in there. Yeah, so that's a preview into like what I'll talk about for the music of summer 2024. And the films of summer 2024, which is like the big one. The films this summer were amazing, with like multiple examples like Deadpool and Wolverine. We got Challengers. We got Mad Max Furiosa. We also had Alien Romulus, which is one of my favorites. We've got Inside Out 2. I got Sing Sing as well. Oh, there's so many great films came out this summer, and also a big box office summer because I felt like there was like people were going to the cinema again in droves. Like obviously last summer was really great because of the whole Barbenheimer thing, but I think the effect what Barbenheimer has done, I think has pushed people to actually go to the cinema now, to like go and experience films in a cinema on the big screen the way they're meant to be seen. So I feel like we're seeing the fallout of a Barbenheimer summer, which has been a lot of films opening with 50, 40 million plus like these huge films, like that Blake Lively film. I think It Ends With Us, whatever. I don't know anything about that, but that was a huge box office hit. I think it made like 50 plus million in its opening weekend. Oh my God. And Inside Out 2. Like, Inside Out 2 is a great film, amazing film. I really liked it. It's one of my favorite films of the year. But holy shit, that film is now like the sixth highest grossing film of all time. It's the highest grossing animated film of all time. It's breaking these records, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is just a sequel to Inside Out. I mean, I know the first one was really popular. I remember the first one came out the same week or a week after Jurassic World came out in 2015. And that Jurassic World, for people who don't know, when it came out in 2015, it was huge. It made $200 million just in America in its first opening weekend. It crossed like $1 billion in a short amount of time. It was huge financially. Like, it was a juggernaut of money. But also, Inside Out also made a lot of money that summer as well. And I think the first Inside Out film has $1 billion or very much close to it. But I would have never expected Inside Out 2 to like have this amount of success. And I'm happy for it, because it's great when a film that you actually think is a great film have success. It's like a win-win situation. I love it. But that's what I'll be talking about next week. So, yes, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Triple Threat Podcast. I will be getting back at you weekly with new episodes. Stay tuned for next week, where we will talk about the music and film of 2024. And I might talk about what we're going into fall seasons, because coming up is my favorite season of all of the seasons. Awards! So, yep, stay tuned. Give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, my YouTube channel. You can listen to us on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. You can listen to us on Amazon Podcasts. You can listen to us on Spotify. Listen, leave a comment, leave a like. I really appreciate it. And until then, I'll talk to you later.